I don't even know why I'm that upset, I just can't.
Because you've put so much into this. Let's just move on and crack on doing and being who you are, which is sensational.
I'm here, like I'm back where I belong, and I believe I can win again.
With an injury that's not really getting any better, like you're putting in so much time, effort.
It's really hard for me to justify your place on the team. It's really hard for me to justify it.
No, what is that?
She's at the cusp now of some breakout performances, really being one of the best in the world. She has to go out there to race her bike, not ride it.
I feel like you would actually be sat like that, no?
Right. Well, you wouldn't sit this close and chat.
Each night I pray, I don't wake up. I give my love to which you good. Each night I pray, I don't wake up. I give my love to which you good.
Right, can we go?
I'm Oli Zwar.
I forgot how to do this.
I'm Tahnée Seagrave.
Right, Joe, ask me.
Hi, I'm Phoebe Gale.
I'm Rudi Eichhorn, and it's
24 and this is
How we roll season 3.
We're back.
Rudi just asked what the aim of the game is. Me and Phoebe cook for everyone at every race. We have to wake up before we and then everyone breakfast. No. That was some pretty good chocolate.
Everyone's had different journeys, different path than last off-season, and it's always individual like that. Everyone's got their own journey, their own story, their own needs. So it's been really individual across the board, and I suppose if you look at like commonalities between the preparation, everyone's done what they needed to do to get as much quality bike time as possible.
teach you how to put his jersey on, don't I?
Oh, gee, I'm stuck. Every race.
It sounds like a 4-year-old putting on a t-shirt.
What's going on? So
Day one of riding in Ponta. Do some bike stuff, do some fun stuff, all of it.
I had a lot of expectations last year, and then obviously a few injuries. You dream of being in this position your whole life, and then you get there and then a few things go south. In a way, it's a fail of a year. I think if you can go back and like take away positives, even though it's a lot of negatives, and then put that into the next season. Last year, I had the speed to be where I want to be, and the times where I felt like really confident, that it really excites me to get to that sort of speed again, because I know if I do that, then I can be on the podium or I can be top 10.
Coming out of the season with nothing, it was pretty hard. Towards the end of the year, I just lost my head a bit because no results were really happening. Kind of feel a bit more confident now because I know like what I did wrong last year. So I spent so much longer on a bike, so like the pressure's kind of like I'm not really feeling that much more than I was coming into last year. So yeah, I'm keen for it this season.
The most I learnt last year was downhill racing's fucking hard. The first elite season I think was a big stepping stone. Like, it's a tough sport. Another step up, isn't it, racing the fastest girls. Sometimes racing can become, not feel like a chore, but you get that worked up about it that you don't, maybe not enjoying it as much as you want to enjoy the actual racing itself. Whereas this year I feel like I'm coming in and being like, I've got stuff to prove, you know, I want to race. I think this is the most excited I've been to race.
Going into last year was kind of just take it as it comes. Every race was a bonus, just every day was a bonus. Being on my bike felt amazing. Wasn't pushing for wins, just kind of ticking boxes and just trying to enjoy that lifestyle again after what I'd been through. Being able to end that season on a really good note, just feel like I'm able to crack on and get the work done now. I feel pretty good going into this season. It's been a while since I felt like this. I think to work again towards wanting to win World Cup is a mindset that I definitely missed and I'd thought that I wouldn't have again after what I went through, so I'm excited.
So whilst I was doing my interview, Rudi drew Phoebe.
Wow.
We are here.
I have to go to these when I can.
So yeah, first race, Fort William, which I think's a little bit weird, the fact that the home race is the first one, a track that I know really well, and I'm very excited to race for sure. Got last year under the belt, which is sick, to know that I can handle the pressure of being at a home race and the pressure of my family being there. Just got to do it again and enjoy it, and I'm stoked, like, get back to that. I just love that place, love being there. Round one, the World Cup Series. We have track walk.
Oh, it's better.
It's hot in Fort William.
It's just kind of straight into the deep end of Fort William. It's tough, it's not, you know, it takes no prisoners, so I think we're going to have to be very alert and very on it.
And some guys did move to that inside last year, later on. Yeah, it makes sense. I like it. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Come to Fort William for shits and gigs. Everyone decided to do the same this weekend apparently, so guess we got ourselves a race.
9 in the morning nectar. Get it in you. It's fast this year, like a bit faster than last year. Woods is already rutty and slidey, but yeah, it's good fun this year.
Fast. Hasn't changed from last year. The conditions are like dry, hard, so like without even trying, you just go on almost race pace.
Look at this nerd.
As everyone knows, that track's probably one of the gnarliest and longest tracks out there. And with how my pre-season was with the rehab and recovery, like, yeah, if you haven't really raced in the pre-season, you don't really know like where you're even going to stack up, or if your speed's at qualifying speed, or if it's like way out the arse. Like, it's just, I was asking myself a lot of questions that I didn't have answers to.
Definitely a wake-up call to the season. Like, that track's always gnarly, even though they've smoothed out a bit. Like, normally you've had a few races to just remember how gnarly World Cup races are going that quick. But straight into one of the gnarliest ones was hectic. That was my first time doing it, and like, it wasn't that slow.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I'm just gonna run that from now, I think.
Thank you.
Cheers, sir. Thank you.
Bit nervous. Quite confident. I was confident yesterday, and then I don't know, the track was a bit rough this morning. Kind of humbled me pretty hard, but I guess it's the same for everyone.
So this year, semi-finals is on qualifying day, which means that if you don't get through semi-finals, you don't get to ride on finals day, which is quite a big change. Like, quite a lot of pressure getting into that finals day now, knowing that I'm not protected into finals, and it's only 10 spots, and this year there's a ridiculous amount of talent in the elite women's category.
Just good, consistent pace to go down. That's all you need. See where you end up.
My plan. It's almost as if last year doesn't matter anymore. We start from scratch every year, I feel like, especially when people like Tahnée have done a year of building again, and then they come through and are like smoking everyone else again. Everyone's on different journeys, which means that like you yourself have to find your own journey. It's really hard to try and like believe that you can be in top 10 consistently when the category's that like competitive now.
I think with all the attention that the speed suit got, and like me being in pink, and like I felt a bit like a show pony, and I just kind of really wanted to back it up with a result, and that was a huge fuel and fire for me all week.
Like she said herself to me, I think that she knew that if everything lined up as it should, and she rides like she can at the moment, that she should be right up there at the sharp end. And she went out and won qualifying.
That pushes them more than anyone else, I think. Oh yeah. The fact that the girl in pink has gone faster just everyone off, I swear.
Happy to be a threat. I like that.
Come down in my quali, like fairly smooth run. I was like, yeah, sick, top 40, cool. There's two sides. Like, there's the realistic side. Like, I'm so happy with 35th. Like, and like, it's a really good ride. But the competitive side is I'm 0.7 off the finals.
Past that inside line, we're seeing the athletes still coming close to that inside hole.
Wild time. Fitness feels good though. Like, I was able to like.
You're clearly not gassed.
No, not like buried myself at the bottom. Like, this track is literally just turn your brain off and ride as fast as you can. And then that's not, I don't ride like that. Like, I ride with smarts and technique and like finessing, and then when you are lacking confidence as well, like it's even harder to just switch your brain off.
Fort William is just the most brutal track of the circuit, arguably. Like, it is probably the roughest. It's just 4.5 minutes of just constant rocks and just smashing through stuff. It's a massive test for the body as well as the bike. I mean, to even contemplate doing it with half the power you have in one hand, just insane.
It's annoying. Yeah, for sure. Just the confidence side of things when you have a big crash and a big injury, like it just takes time. It's also nice to see that I'm not that far off where I kind of want to be.
The man himself.
Go fast. Don't come last. Like, dropping into my run, I felt pretty good for the first time in a while for a race run. Like, felt like I could ride a bike normally and nerves wasn't like taking over and stuff. Like, it was pretty mean. Just after the boardwalk, the notorious rock garden, went through that so mint, and then just tucked my front in probably one of the easiest turns in the whole top section. But yeah, that was that. Having a crash in this day and age in junior men racing, like across all the borders, it would be pretty impossible to get a good result. So I may as well just throw some tricks on the motorway, and yeah, did some of that for the crowd.
It's just typical Rudi. He's just such a showman. He just loves messing about and just having fun. And it's a bummer for him because we want to get the result and celebrate the wins, but at the same time, if he's enjoying himself and showing off for the cameras, then that's the second best thing, I guess.
Get some views on Instagram.
Let's get some good clips for the weekend.
Thursday. Everything for the last 5 days comes down to this next 2 hours.
Really good. You think where you started this weekend as well? Yeah.
4 hours sleep as well, something like that.
I came into Fort William just knowing that I could win. I cemented myself in qualifying with that first place, and that was just like, she's here for business.
Tahnée's next. I'm ready to get nervous again.
Sister Mary, she wears a golden chain. Sister Mary, she wears a golden chain. Sister Mary, she wears a golden chain and every link.
It's literally taken us an hour there to here. I'm like, it's ridiculous.
At least you got some fans as well.
See that?
No hiding place down here.
My jaw is permanently stuck in this position.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
We're still not through the threshold, right? We're still not over the threshold. We're almost in.
Phoebe did amazing in Fort William, honestly. She had all of the pressure of it being a home race, all of the pressure of like a good result at World Champs the year before, and in her own words, when I talked to her, like reflection after the race, she said she felt huge pressure for the first race of the season because now she has her own expectations.
Someone asked me when I was there actually, it was like, do you feel more pressure being at home for the first race? And I kind of like didn't think the pressure of being the first race was bigger than the pressure of it being a home race. I think got to take a P7 is pretty good and good way to start off the year.
Watching your friends take a selfie, and they're like, for their crush.
For me, it was just so amazing to be able to put a run down every single time consistently fast. To see that I was 1.8 seconds back on the fastest woman from the past 2-3 years, to me was massive. The result itself gives you the confirmation you need that you're not going crazy and you can believe in yourself. But I think we found that fine line again of what works and what can be up there at the top, and I think that was a huge success for me and the team over the weekend.
The team went there really positive. Everyone was excited to get back together. It was a really good race to get back to with everyone, actually.
Phoebe had a 7th place in Fort William. I know she's happy with her result, but I know Phoebe for a few years now, and she wants to push for that podium week in, week out. And Tahnée was just super stoked with her performance. Like it was a good performance. It was great to see a smile back on her face, and anything can happen here. Next time on How We Roll.
5.
There weren't many teams with 2 girls on them.
Being able to share like a really nice relationship with Phoebe, a sisterhood.
I don't care what it is, I want to beat her because she's like my big sister, you know. Like.
So coming into this season, she's like, I need to be on the podium.
What is that? It's not me!
Your time's coming, yeah? And it will.
Moped boy.
Steep on the left.